What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Now, today, we're going to look at Arsenal's best ever team. We're going to go through each position, pick which player, and see what our best team is. We know we're not having the glory days of old right now, so there wasn't too much going off in the world of Arsenal today. A little Guendouzi interview talking about possibly coming back next season, and Arteta said one or two things as well about the games going forward. But listen, let's do something different today, and let's pick our best ever team. Now, before we get into this team, I want to let you know that I've only picked players that I have seen on a regular basis. So for some of you who are maybe a bit older than me and you're expecting certain players to be in there, I'm only going off players that I've seen on a consistent basis in my generation, you know. So if there's some big boys missing, don't be offended by it, you know. And we're gonna have some big decisions to make as well, people. So I need you active in the comments today. Big up everyone for tuning in. Thank you very much for your brilliant interaction as usual. And I can see you flying in with opinions there. Smash the likes on the video from early, people. Subscribe if you haven't already. You know how we're going. The intro. Looking forward to this. Yeah, man. Listen, Arteta is not the manager of the team because, you know, I don't know. Would he even get this team in the top four? I'm not sure. No slander on it. See, you lot trying to draw me out already, innit? You want me to come on here and start cussing up friggin' Arteta? It's got to be Arsene Wenger as the gaffer at it, you know, really. Prime Arsene. Maybe in the international break, we'll do Arsenal's worst 11 as well, you know. It's OG triple for all you Friday fans, Friday after next fans. Yes, Nick, big up. Jashar as well. Flapiansky, yeah, I mean, he might have got close to the worst team, to be honest. Eddie and Omri up front. I mean, Eddie might get in that other squad. Nah, I'm joking, people. Should be Mourinho, right? Well, you know. Do you know what? I've had a rough few days on the Mourinho slander, man. As soon as we turned them over, it all started coming. But I can take it, people. You know, I as you know by now, you can see I've got a light-hearted personality. That stuff doesn't bother me, man. Is this pure talent or overall? I think we're going to go for, like, the impact of that player at our football club. You know, it doesn't matter what he went and did somewhere else. I want to know, you know, the impact of that player at Arsenal Football Club. So some people saying Unai as manager. Interesting to see who's going to be captain, and that's another one. Who's going to be the captain? Right. Let's get into it. Let's get started, people. And I want all your opinions in the comments. I'm going to need help here because, you know, I might, you know, sometimes you sway away from the right answer slightly. So here we are. Hope you can all see this, right? I've picked a group of players here. As I said, I think these are pretty much our best players from this generation. There are one or two that maybe aren't there that you might have liked. I mean, I haven't picked no Mesut Ozil. I haven't picked no Robin Van Persie. I was going to put Van Persie in this list. I think I've picked about 21 players here, and then obviously we'll squeeze an 11 out of this. We'll pick the goalkeeper. The tough thing about this, I thought it's only right that we go 4-4-2 because the Invincibles team was 4-4-2. You know, I was trying to pick formations where I could squeeze all our best players in, like our best attacking players. Issa Musa's not happy, saying no Van Persie. But let's be honest, he's not getting in this team anyway, and he's a bit of a scumbag, isn't he? He went to United and won the league, so he don't deserve it. But yeah, Van Persie was one after that I thought maybe I could have put on this list as well. But in all fairness, he's not going to get in the starting lineup. So lots of players. I'll just go through the list. I hope you can all see this good as well. I've picked David Seaman and Jens Lehmann as the keepers. The defenders, Winterburn, Ashley Cole, Lauren, Lee Dixon, Sol Campbell, Tony Adams. And obviously we'll get a back four out of that. In midfield, I've picked Gilberto Silva, Emmanuel Petit, Cesc Fabregas, Santi Cazorla, and Patrick Vieira. So we got to get 2 centre mids out of that. Yeah, Bakary Sagna as well is another one that I could have. But again, I don't think Sagna's getting in ahead of Dixon or Lauren, if I'm being honest. The wingers, I've picked Alexis Sanchez, Robert Pires, Freddie Ljungberg, and Mark Overmars. So some serious wingers there. And the 4 strikers, I picked Ian Wright, Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, and Nicolas Anelka. Some bad boy players there. What I'd do to have, just give me 2 of them players out of that whole squad. And we'd be, imagine the team we'd have. 1-1 says no way. Tom says Aboué. Aboué for me, he had good times at Arsenal. But I don't think he gets in this team. Real Captain says Bon Sagna. Sagna gets nowhere near it. He was solid, to be fair, but he doesn't get in the team. Thomas from Norway says, got to have someone from the current generation. I mean, Santi Cazorla, I've put him on the list. Alexis, they were only a few years ago. JD Arsenal says, where is Aubameyang? Listen, man, I'm a fan of Aubameyang still, but he don't get near this team. Static says, what about Parlour? Again, workhorse, water carrier, good player, of course, but he doesn't get in this team, let's be honest. Mustafa said, where is Aubameyang? I mean, look, man, I love Aubameyang like every other Arsenal fan, but let's be honest. Ian Wright, Henry, Bergkamp, and Anelka. All right, yeah, he's got a better goal record than Anelka, to be fair, but look what Anelka achieved in his career. Tom Wiseau said Rocky. Again, the only reason I didn't put Rocky, I didn't see him play enough, man. I'm not just going to go off, older players. I'm only going off the generation that I've seen. Right, let's get started, people. Let's get started. Let's break down our 11. Get your opinions in. JD said Aubameyang was fastest to 50 goals. As I said, I love Aubameyang as a player, but he can't make this team, man. Maybe he could have made the bench, to be fair. And we'll try and squeeze a captain out of this team somewhere as well. Ebby said, where's Lord Bentner? Nick Bentner, I mean, he is a legend in his own right, but not for his footballing talent. Right. Goalkeeper. Do we either go with David Seaman, England's #1, or the madman Jens Lehmann? I mean, I think it's probably England's #1. I think he's probably a slightly better goalkeeper than Lehmann. Lehmann was a fantastic character, though. I loved him as a character. But he did have the odd clanger in him. He did have the odd clanger. Sidant said Renarsson. Ben says Lehmann. Spikey said Seaman all day. Tom says Seaman. Skillem said Seaman. Thomas from Norway said Lehmann. Ebby says Seaman. Interesting that some of you think Lehmann was better than him. I'm surprised at that. Lehmann, Seaman, Renarsson. Renarsson could fill up the water bottles, although he'd probably drop the water bottles. I think it's David Seaman, in it. A few of you are saying Lehmann. Most of you are saying Seaman. Man said Seaman is sus. He got chipped by Ronaldinho. That's a bit harsh, man. Ronaldinho chipped a lot of good goalkeepers, although that was a crazy lob still. I didn't like that. Almunia. Lehmann got dropped for Almunia. Yeah, we're going Seaman. I love Lehmann for the character. I do. He's a big character. But David Seaman goes in goal. First selection of the day, people. David Seaman in goal. And I think that's an easy one. Armchair Support said Pat Jennings again. Didn't see him enough. But definitely David Seaman in goal. Let's go to left back. I mean, this ain't going to take long to pick, let's be honest. Some people say Kenny Sampson's one of the best left backs. But, again, I didn't see him play. He was an older generation than me, far older. I picked Nigel Winterburn and Ashley Cole. I mean, not only is Ashley Cole our best left back, I would argue he's probably the best left back to have ever played in the Premier League, in my opinion. Certainly defensively, I have not seen a better left back than Ashley Cole. Some of you calling him Cashley Cole already. Andre Santos, I mean, yeah, we're going to do that worst 11 at some stage, and I'm pretty sure Andre Santos will have a good chance at getting in that left back spot. Ashley Cole, forget what he did. He was unreal at Arsenal. Kenny Sampson was unbelievable. I've heard a lot of people say that. Cashley Cole. The thing with Ashley Cole, and I don't know, I always have this thing with Ashley Cole. A lot of people call him Cashley Cole and say he went to Chelsea for money, but I'm pretty sure he won everything at Chelsea. He left Arsenal, went to Chelsea and won everything. You know, he won the Champions League, the Premier League, the FA Cup. I think he won the League Cup as well. It's very hard to just say, you know, he left for money. The guy achieved everything. Sometimes when players started leaving Arsenal on a regular basis, I started looking at the club a little bit more than the players. You know, a lot of these players were happy at the club, but they left because the lack of ambition of the football club. But hey, he did do us dirty going to Chelsea, but you know, he won so much. Can we really question him? He would turn around and say that decision was justified because Arsenal, I'm pretty sure Arsenal didn't win a trophy for years after Ashley Cole left. We started going downhill when Cole left. Yeah, that was the start of people leaving, you know. We offered him dead P anyway, so can't blame him. Ashley Cole left, got more money and won everything. Who can actually blame him? Do you know what I'm trying to say? How can you criticize him? The guy went to Chelsea and cleaned up, you know, while we was losing Carabao Cup finals to Birmingham City and that. It was mad. Kalasa crap. Even though he went to Chelsea, I still love the guy. It's true. It's true. The thing what disappointed me is when I hear him speak, he speaks as if he's a Chelsea man. That's the only thing that hurts me, you know. But Ashley Cole goes in at left back. I don't think anybody would pick Nigel Winterburn ahead of Ashley Cole. The guy is an unbelievable left back. In my opinion, the best left back to ever play in the Premier League. We'll probably do that as well. Premier League's greatest 11. We'll do these during the international break, which obviously starts next week. 2 weeks of boring England games, England friendlies. Let's move to right back. I think this one will have a bit of debate this time. I've gone for Lauren and Lee Dixon. Lauren and Lee Dixon. Let me know your thoughts. I want to know who you're going for. I know I'm leaning towards. I know I would probably pick, to be honest, but who would you go for out of Lauren? Hecky B said Kevin. Yeah, again, you know, he can come and plant trees around the stadium, you know, keep it all green and friendly for us, you know. Goffrey, big up for the super chat, bro. Said Vieira captain 100%. By the way, Almunia was so bad, damn, bro. Almunia probably cost us the Champions League final, getting beat at his near post and that. Now, this one's very mixed. Lauren, easy. Another Lauren. To be fair, there's probably a few more Laurens. Dixon. One club man, everyone is a rival. Dixon, Bellerin again. Dixon, Lauren. This one's quite split, people. Lauren, but Cedric is close. No chance. Lee Dixon, hands down. Dixon, Lauren again. Sagna. I don't think Sanya was as good as them two, to be honest. He was good. Curtis Dixon, I love Lauren as well, but I choose Dixon. This is a tight one. Lichtsteiner, he might make that worst 11 as well. It's a strong opinion. Man said Lee Dixon weren't even that good. He was just a passion merchant. So the fans got gas. No techers. That's a harsh one. That is very harsh. Abue was better in attack, but as a player, Lauren. Lee Dixon. I'm going to go. Campbell will come later, don't worry. I'm going to go with the one I believe. Ooh, I'm going Lauren, people. I'm going Lauren. I think he was better on the ball than Dixon. He was strong. He used to take penalties and all sorts, man. He had so much talent. Unbelievable player. I think he was just a little bit more well-rounded. Some of you saying Carl Jenkins. Yeah, he could be the mascot, you know. He could be the dinosaur. Oleg Luzhny, yeah, again, he might get in the worst team. Jenkinson as well. Dixon was solid. Big up, Fran. Changed my mind. Dixon for longevity. That's a good point. The disrespect to Jenkinson is unreal. Listen, when I seen Lauren punching up Van Nistelrooy in the ribs at Old Trafford, mate, gritting his teeth, you know, I was swung from there. I was done. Yeah, Lauren, give it him. Seen him taking penalties. He was an animal. So, yeah, we go Lauren at right back. It's harsh. Dixon was good defensively, part of our best ever defense. Lauren was better, but years of service. Dixon used to take pens before Wrighty took them off him. Fair enough. I didn't even know that. Didn't even know that. Lauren was a midfielder in Cameroon. Well, there you go. That's why he was probably so good on the ball. You should do the worst team next. I will do that. Next week, we'll definitely do that during the international break. Curtis, during the Invincibles era, our club was much better relative to the other clubs. Doesn't mean those men would set the current Premier League on fire. Good point. Good point. Yeah, the worst starting 11 we'll do next week. Now, at centre-back, I only picked 2 centre-backs because to me, there was no argument. There wasn't even a debate to be had. I was trying to think, were there any centre-backs who were close to these two's level? I can't think of any. If you feel someone else should have been in this squad, in the argument, throw them in. I was thinking maybe Kolo Touré, Lauren Koscielny, I don't know, Vermaelen. I mean, they're nowhere near as good. Number 1 is Big Sol Campbell, you know. He won the league at White Hart Lane. You'll never beat Sol Campbell. Double, double, double. Sol Campbell has won the double. Sol Campbell and Mr. Tony Adams. I mean, Keown as well is another one. I didn't see anyone else who we could even debate about, really. Tony Adams and Campbell, I mean, can you imagine that? Kolo Touré, yeah. You know, I mean, we could have had them both. We had Yaya on trial and didn't sign him. Played him up front against Barnet, even though he's a midfielder. Keown, Bold, Swole Campbell, a.k.a. Don Robbie, yeah, man. Kolo and Koscielny and Bold and Keown, we could have had a debate with them, but they wouldn't have won, let's be honest. These two are far better. Kolo Touré is Mustafi and Joru. Oh, my days. Kolo Touré is a legend. Yeah, he is. He is. And I think the fans loved his personality as well. Igor Stepanovs, I remember them dark days, man. Scalacci. Do you know, I actually can't wait to do the worst 11 next week because there's so many bad players. Luzhny, Stepanovs, you know, Mertesacker. We've had some terrible players. Oh, dear. Pascal Saigan, how bad was he, by the way? He was bad. No, I'm not going to slander Senderos, you know. I've had him on the channel, so I ain't going to do that. He weren't great, but he wasn't as bad as some of them. I know Drogba used to terrorize him, you know. Nelson Rivas, Gallas. I mean, Gallas was a decent player. He just had a stinking attitude, you know, proper stinking attitude. Did you see Mustafi's own goal at the weekend? I mean, that goal summed him up. That goal summed him up, to be honest. Senderos was Drogba's son. It was sad what he used to do to him. I'm getting him on again, actually, in the next couple of weeks. So look out for that interview. Senderos will be back on. So you lot go easy on him in the comments with the Drogba comments. Right, this is where the debate starts. We've got our back 5 now. Our goalkeeper and our defence has been picked. To be honest, it picked itself. You know, there was no debate, really. David Seaman in goal. Ashley Cole at left back. Lauren at right back. Tony Adams and Sol Campbell at centre back. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Centre midfield. We're playing 4-4-2 because this is the formation that we were invincible with. Now, there's one that picks himself, and it's just obvious, isn't it, really? Let's be honest. It's Vieira. Whoa! Vieira. The Man Mountain, the legend. The best midfielder that I've ever seen play for Arsenal. Right? Simple as that. We'll talk at the end of the game, at the end of the video as well, about who the captain is going to be, because there's a couple of shouts in here for captain. I'm going to move Patrick Vieira because there's just no debate. He's the best centre midfielder that I've seen play for Arsenal. Now there's a big debate to be had, right? I've got here 4 centre midfielders that can go next to him. Gilberto Silva, Emmanuel Petit, Cesc Fabregas, and Santi Cazorla. Right, I need comments. Bobby, Liam Brady, again, too old. I've met him a couple of times, actually, but, you know, way before my time. Vieira and Cesc, whoa, this is going to start a lot of debate. Mohamed El Sideways. Oh, dear. Cesc, I mean, listen, I got to be honest, right? This is a horrible one because I love Gilberto and Petit, but Fabregas is something else. Honestly, for me, that guy is something else. He was 16 years old bossing Champions League. He actually bossed Vieira in the Champions League at Highbury when Vieira went to Juventus. Santi was a genius, but didn't do it for long enough, in my opinion. You know, the injuries got hold of him quickly. When he first joined Arsenal, we were playing him out wide as well. He only really went in midfield the last 18 months next to Coquelin. But Petit, World Cup winner, ended up at Barcelona. You know, Gilberto Silva, World Cup winner as well, invincible winner. It's a tricky one, people. Chuck the comments in. Chuck the comments in. Cazorla, Cesc, Alex Song. I mean, yeah, good, but not as good. 1-0 with Fabregas. I mean, is that how we judge it? Off what they won? What would you go on? Fab, Gilberto, Cazorla, all solid choices. Fab was special. Cesc, Petit, Cesc all day. Cazorla made Coquelin look like Silva. Xhaka and El Neni, people are saying. Party hard. I mean, he's not on that level. Opinion on Coquelin, he was good, very passionate. I think Hazard ruined him when he twisted him up, to be honest, and weighted him, made him do a front flip. Benayoun, Yossi, you know, man like Yossi. Cesc carried. Cesc was different level. I got to be honest, people. I got to be honest. The chats are flying in. I love it. This is why I wanted to do this today. I feel bad because Gilberto and Manuel Petit are legends, but I'm going for Cesc Fabregas. 16 years old in the first team, bossing it. You know, bossed Barcelona in the Champions League. Now, I know people will talk about we didn't win things, but he was carrying that team at times. He was the captain. I think he was unbelievable. I think it's a tough one because really you feel like it should be, you know, Petit or Gilberto because we had more success with them in their team. But imagine what Fabregas would have been with Patrick Vieira next to him. You know, this guy was playing with bums at the time. This guy was playing with Denilson centre mid and who did we have centre mid them time? Well, Song wasn't bad, but yeah, he had José Benayoun. He had Benayoun left, came after, but do you know what I mean? He had man like Denilson there next to him. He didn't have proper centre mids around him. I think Cesc was a special player. And actually, when I interviewed Senderos, he was talking about Fabregas and saying, you know, he came and trained with the first team when he was just 16, just left school, said his shirt was way too baggy. He was small. He had bushy hair. And he said when he got the ball, they couldn't get near him. He was flicking balls around the corner. He was doing no-look passes. He was clipping balls over the top into Henry. He said, you know, at 16 years old, they started actually playing through him. So he was bossing games for Arsenal. Unbelievable. An absolute special player for me. It's no disrespect at all to Petit and Gilberto Silva because they were both special players, but Fab was on another level. Parlour was solid, man. He was solid, but I don't think he was on these guys' level. He was close, you know. Big up Curtis for putting nostalgia aside and picking sets. I got to keep it real. It would be easy for me to just say Gilberto or Petit because, you know, we won more and they were part of the more successful teams. But if you're talking about individual talent and brilliance, it's got to be Cesc, man. Can you imagine Fabregas at his best next to Vieira? Gilberto, I'm sorry, Gilberto, man. I love Gilberto as well, man. The invincible wall just came and picked your pockets, took the ball off you without you knowing. But Cesc, man, I watched Cesc play so many times. He wowed me. Like, he literally wowed me. He'd come and get the ball and just turn people like they weren't even there, man. He was phenomenal. Santi was great. Didn't do it as long as Fab at Arsenal, man, you know. Kim Kallstrom, I mean, he scored an important goal for us anyway. Paul Merson was wicked. He was a good player. Very good, Paul Merson. So there we go. We're building a heck of a team here. It's time for the wingers. It is time for the wingers. Now, 4 wingers to choose from. Alexis Sanchez, Robert Pires, Freddie Ljungberg, Mark Overmars. Now, bear in mind that I think we're going to have to force someone to play out of position because the reality is here, I refuse to leave Alexis Sanchez out of this team. I can't leave him out. I had this debate before with a lot of people. Alexis Sanchez is my favourite winger to ever play for Arsenal. And that's harsh because Robert Pires is special. We won a lot of things with Pires in the team, right? But Sanchez for me is the one. He's the one. He's the one. He's the best I've seen. He's the one that made me sit up off my chair every week. Pires was part of a great team. But Pires knew he could have a bad game because Henry's going to win you the game. Pires knew he could have a bad game because Dennis Bergkamp would win you the game. Sanchez couldn't afford to have a day off. We had no one else. All right, we had Ozil, but he wasn't a match winner in the sense. He was more the creator. Sanchez and Pires. I suppose really we're going to have to play one on the right. Sanchez all day, every day. The guy was box office, and I agree with that, James. That guy was box office. You know, you wanted to get to the stadium early to watch Alexis, man. He was unbelievable. Sanchez and Pires, it's got to be them two. Sanchez, best player in the Emirates here. I agree with that. I think he is. The fighting spirit, the power, the pace, the aggression, the energy. The man used to just run. 90 minutes this guy was running. I remember him putting videos up when the season had finished. Man's running in the hills in Chile. These men are meant to be on holiday resting, you know. Reyes, get a shout out. RIP the man, 100% Reyes, man. Rest in peace. Very good player. Talented. Great left foot. And yeah, of course, man. Jose Antonio Reyes. Gervinho, I mean, geez. Didn't Eden Hazard say he was the best player he'd played with in France? And then Gervinho came to England and he was shocking. He had good pace and dribbling. His end product was embarrassing. Ainsley and Reece Nelson. Yeah, you'd love Ainsley in this team, wouldn't you, OG, man? Overmars better than Pires. How would you order those three then? Like, what order would you actually put them in? That Sanchez dink penalty, Burnley at home last minute. I have this debate all the time. I had it with Robbie for ages. I said Sanchez, Pires, Overmars. What order would you guys put those three in? Limpar was a baller as well. Overmars not close to Pires. Arshavin, he had a good little time. We can't forget the 4 against Liverpool. He did bits. He was important. Yes, that order. Yeah, that's the order for me. Sanchez, Pires, Overmars. Sanchez, Pires, Freddie. He's gone there. Ooh, Pires, Overmars, Sanchez. I find it hard to put Sanchez third out of them three. This guy was a next level. Fran's putting Freddie over Overmars. Interesting. Sanchez, Pires, Freddie, and Overmars. Shiro said Pires, Sanchez, Overmars. Bukayo Saka, let's hope one day we can put him in there. Sammy said Sanchez, best left winger for us, right. So we put the wingers in. Let's get the wingers in. Alexis, play him on the left and we'll chuck Pires on the right, or vice versa. Whichever one of them can play on the right, we'll put them on the right. Now we've got problems. Oh, no. We've got problems now. This might seem simple to some people, but this is a problem for me. Our 4 strikers that I've picked here: Ian Wright, Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, and Nicolas Anelka. Now, I'll be honest, I loved Nicolas Anelka when he was at Arsenal. Like, he's one of the first strikers that I really was wowed by. But obviously, I'm not going to pick Nicolas Anelka over Bergkamp, Henry, and Ian Wright. Nostalgia is going to come creeping in here, and that's why it's so difficult. Because when I break these 3 players down, Thierry Henry, for me, my opinion, is the best player to ever play for Arsenal. In fact, I would say the best player to play in the Premier League, right? Ian Wright is the player that made me want to support Arsenal. Simple as that. When I saw Wrighty and his personality and his celebrations and the natural finishing ability, Wrighty was the player that made me want to support Arsenal, if I'm being honest. And then Dennis Bergkamp is, you're talking about a genius. You're talking about a genius at work. You know, man said the disrespect on Van Persie. Van Pagan can get out of here, man. You know what I mean? But no, Van Persie was good, but Francis Jeffers very unlucky not to make it. Oh, dear. Franny Jeffers. Man, you went to Everton, signed Rooney. We went and signed Francis Jeffers, man. Come on, sort it out, please. Rajinder said, the answer is behind you. It's hard to say no, innit, to that. As much as I love Ian Wright, and when I say I love Ian Wright, I love Ian Wright. He made me want to support Arsenal. I think you're right, people. I think the answer is on the green screen behind me. For the simple fact, them two would be unbelievable in a front two, obviously. They were unbelievable in a front two. I loved Ian Wright. He's the reason I wanted to support Arsenal, and Kevin Campbell doing dances after goals. Yo, them two had pure swagger. Big up Campbell as well. Yeah, Roland saying, look behind you. This is so difficult. Right, we'll start off like this. Thierry's in there, right? Thierry's in there, of course. Best player in Premier League history, in my opinion. 5 seasons in a row, 20+ league goals. You know, you can't talk to him. He's won the Champions League, the Prem, the Spanish League, the FA Cup, the World Cup, the Euros. He's done the lot. Thierry's the best. It's a horrible one for me because nostalgia draws me to Wrighty, but the genius draws me to Bergkamp. You know, that's the sad thing. Bergkamp, Henry, but I love Wrighty, what he did for black boys in the South, especially me because he's from my area, madness. That's it, innit? He give a lot of people a connection because, you know, he was representing the culture a lot. And not just the culture, just he brought flavour to Arsenal, man. Bro, there's no debate, Curtis. Henry and Bergkamp, take it by a country mile. That's a green screen. He'll just look at the wall. Go with your heart. Go on. We got to do it. We've got to do this. They don't build statues for no reason, people. They don't build statues for no reason. Dennis Bergkamp is a genius. He's a genius, in my opinion. The touch, the movement, the footballing intelligence. He's one of them players that improves everyone who's around him. And I agree with this. I think he does deserve a statue. I don't know how he hasn't got a statue considering everything he's done. It's only right. I think he would say, but Henry and Bergkamp. I do as well. I honestly do. He deserves to be in there just for the turn. The turn alone gets him the statue. Nah, bro, you have to put Cashley in, man. Man like Cashley Cole has to be in there. Best left back to play for Arsenal in this recent generation. Yeah, even Ian Wright says Bergkamp is the best. You know, he talks about his intelligence. Can you imagine playing up front with him? Just making runs and this guy finding you. The guy was unbelievable, Dennis Bergkamp. And honestly, that pains me because I love Ian Wright. I promise you. I was actually fighting with my emotions to say, do I force Wrighty in ahead of Bergkamp? You know, I was tempted to do it, but the things we've seen Bergkamp do, man, the improvement he does to players around him. Yeah, righty, man. Bergkamp was elite. Bergkamp serviced Henry and Wrighty as well. Wrighty would say play Henry on the wing. Do you know what? I could have done that actually, couldn't I? I could have played Sanchez on the right with Henry on the left. Some people are unhappy, man. It's very hard to leave Ian Wright of an Arsenal team, innit? Because he's like Mr. Arsenal. Socially Outcast has said, no, I love Wrighty, but Dennis was sauce before sauce. He was like these, you know, these modern players. And the intelligence and that. He was way ahead of his time. Curtis Proper trying to tip. Bruv, I swear I feel terrible leaving Ian Wright out of this team. I feel terrible because, you know, but I just got to keep it 100, man. I got to keep it 100. You know, someone saying there, he wasn't an England regular. I mean, I think that was more politics than talent. You can't tell me Teddy Sheringham was better than Ian Wright. A lot of that was to do with, you know, who played better with Alan Shearer and things like that. Overmars on the left wing, not over Alexis, mate. No chance. Bergkamp was so much better than Wrighty, bro. Bergkamp and Zola changed English football. Those kind of intelligent number 10s, I'd say Cantona as well. He was very much in that number 10 role. Drop Pires. Oh man, can we do it? Henry's not an out and out. He's not an out and out left winger. I can't do it. Wright and Henry were too similar. They wouldn't play together. I mean, you never know. Sometimes two goal scorers can play together. You know, you look at Cole and York, but York kind of dropped in a little bit. So you never know. First off the bench. Yeah, first off the bench would be Wrighty all day long. I love Wrighty, big Arsenal heart, but Berg on another class. He is. I'd play a 4-2-2 diamond with Wright up front as well. I was actually looking at this, you know, if there was a way how we could force them all in and maybe play Bergkamp attacking mid with Wright and Henry up front. But then you lose your wingers. Mind you could play two. I don't know, people. There you go. Let's have a look. So we need, how many can you have on the bench? I suppose you can have 5 on the bench. We would have 5 on the bench. So if we were to have a keeper, a defender, midfielder, a winger, and a striker, right? So this will be the bench. We'll do a bench. We need a good bench of 5. So Jens Lehmann will be the goalkeeper. What defenders have we got left? Who do we go on the bench? Winterburn or Dixon? Who would you say was better out of those two? Winterburn or Dixon on the bench? People saying 7 on the bench. 7 nowadays, yeah. But I think 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 5 because back in them days, you know. And then if we put 7, it'll be too easy. I want to spark a bit more debate, so we'll go 5 on the bench. You know, I think Dixon, people would just say, I'd say Dixon was a bit better than Winterburn. I didn't really rate Winterburn as highly as Dixon. I thought Dixon was better. Winterburn, Dixon, mostly saying Lee Dixon was better. Dixon, Petit, Overmars, and Nelcott. See, this is the thing. This is where it all gets techie because Ian Wright off the bench might not be as good as Anelka off the bench just due to the explosive pace. But anyway, Lee Dixon. What centre midfielder do you want on the bench? Cazorla, Petit, or Gilberto? This is a tough one because if you're trying to, you know, create something, you're going to want Cazorla. If you're trying to shut it down, then you could have played Gilberto. You know, you could have played Gilberto. You're playing the wrong formation, bro. Should be 4-3-3, bruv. I said the same thing, but I was going off our most successful period was 4-4-2. 4-3-3, we could have played Bergkamp in the cam, right up front, Henry on the left. So we could have fit them all in. Gilberto for balance. Petit to boss man. Overmars has to be in the team now. Petit or Gilberto. Petit won the World Cup. Gilberto on the bench. This is a tough one. Gilberto can play centre-back. Yeah, I remember when he filled in a few times. Petit World Cup winner has to be. He scored 2. Oh, man. People are gutted about Wrighty not in there as well. Petit, a bit of both. Hard man and decent passing. Yeah, you make a good point there. I feel like Petit would be the better one because he can do a bit of both, you know. He can do a bit of both. He can attack and defend. And he's left-footed. He adds a little different balance to the bench. Now, we'll go for the winger. So we got Lundberg and Overmars left. Lundberg and Overmars. Now, Overmars was way quicker. He was lightning. But Lundberg did love a goal, you know, at the back post. So who are you going with, people? Lundberg or Overmars off the bench? Who would you like to be bringing on? Like me, I'm a FIFA. You know, I play a lot of FIFA. Well, I used to. Not really anymore, but I'm a pace merchant in it. So I'm always going to lean towards the quicker player. And I love just bringing quick players off the bench. But Lundberg got a lot of goals, man. Lundberg, Overmars. Guy said, Curtis, the amount of goals and important ones Freddie scored, though. Sorry to go back. Are we sure we can leave him out? I mean, he's out the team. Yeah, he's out the team, but does he get on the bench? Looking at the starting four, then Freddie on the bench. Freddie for me. Overmars, Freddie for the here. Lundberg is my second favourite. We'll go for the goals more than the pace, even though, oh man, I'm a big fan of Mark Overmars, you know. You lot are toying with man's emotions here. Yeah, maybe I should have put Wiltord on the bench. Overmars is not a lot quicker. Technically, he was also better. Overmars was better than Freddie. I have to admit, I felt like Overmars was better than Freddie, you know. But Freddie scored a lot of important goals. Overmars scored goals. Overmars' top speed was 24 miles an hour. Freddie for the goals. Overmars was better. Overmars technically way ahead. We love you, Freddie. You got red here. This is a techie one. You know, because I was a big fan of Overmars. But you know what? Who was the better player? I feel like Freddie would be good off the bench, though. He had goals in him. Definitely had goals in him. They're very hard to compare, as you say. Like I'm getting flashbacks of goals right now. I feel like if you said to me, I feel like Overmars was better than Lundberg, but Lundberg had a lot of big moments for Arsenal. Scored big goals. But then Overmars scored at Old Trafford as well. This is a tricky one. Scouse Mike said, gotta be Freddie. LG said Overmars was better, but Freddie was more important. Overmars 98 Old Trafford versus Freddie FA Cup final. Overmars light years ahead. Subs are, what's that? Sorry, a real struggle with this one. Wish we had this problem with our current squad, innit? Overmars. Subs are used to score goals, not add pace. Lundberg was a key invincible. Different impact players. Freddie Overmars, that solves it. Better player was Overmars, but Freddie was class. Freddie was a goal machine. Oh, this is a tough one. This is a really tough one. I'm gonna look at one thing. I think I'm gonna pick. Right. I'm just looking at the amount of goals they scored for Arsenal. Just so I've got a bit of an idea as to how many goals they scored when they played for us. Overmars for Arsenal. How many goals did he score for Arsenal? He scored 25 in 100 games, so 1 in 4. 1 in 4 for Overmars. Freddie Lundberg, Arsenal. Let's have a look at his stats. He scored. Let's have a look. Freddie Lundberg. Where's his goal stats? 48. 48 in 241 appearances. Oh, that's a tricky one. See, Overmars got a better goal ratio, but hasn't scored as many. So Lundberg got 25 in 100 games. Freddie got 48 in 241. So it's close, really. It's because it's a close one. I'm gonna go for Mark Overmars. I know some of you won't be happy with this. I'm a big Overmars fan. Pace, can play on both wings. Freddie was more of a starter, wasn't he, you know? Oh, here we go. All comps, Lundberg has 75. It's clear Overmars. Freddie had better players around him. Oh, people are vexed. You know what it is? I was a big fan of Overmars, man. He was electric. Fran's not happy. I tried to be fair, you know. I even looked at the stats. I know some people are saying Freddie scored more in all comps. Overmars was lethal, though, man. I'm a bit of a pace merchant, I think, man. Yeah, I'm a sweaty FIFA player, man. 99 pace. I'm still putting Hunter cards on, man. If you know about FIFA, you know. Literally shaking. Oh, man, can't believe Freddie's been left out. Right, people, right. This is why the debate's so good. I think if I don't pick right here, this is gonna go all over the place. Pete is better than both. Big up man like Pete. We got Righty and Anelka left. If I picked Anelka here, I'm not sure anyone would ever come back. The funny thing is, he might actually be a better impact sub than Wrighty, but the slander for me, I couldn't leave Ian Wright out of an entire Arsenal squad. It just would. Oh, look, you lot are trying to get me done here. Look, man is saying Anelka's better off the bench. Curtis would pick Traore over Messi, Manis. Oh, first week on FIFA, that 97 pace Traore, man, I'll take him. Legend Ian Wright. Anelka for me as a super sub, Ian Wright. It's got to be right. He's a better finisher, you know. You only looked at the league stats. I'm fuming. Oh, man. Overmars was a scary player to face. I'm just thinking as a defender, 20 minutes to go. You're bringing off Robert Pires and you're bringing on Mark Overmars with that kind of pace. I think you've got a long 20, man. You've got a long 20 minutes. Freddie's a very good player and had goals in him, but I'm just trying to think off the bench. We've only really seen them two players start games because they were main players in our Arsenal team. I'm trying to imagine if they were on the bench, just going on for 20. I feel like Overmars for 20 would be a madness, you know. People saying Anelka, you know what? I can't do it. I can't do it. Man saying prime moments, righty, man. This has to be righty. Even though Anelka might be, imagine bringing on Anelka and Overmars with 20 minutes to go. I mean, maybe I should have picked a different formation here, but hey, I've gone for 4-4-2 because our Invincibles played 4-4-2 pretty much. Man said the Bayer show. I listened to all your comments, man, but I had to go with what I went for. Bro, I don't want to see Overmars running at me after 70. Do you know what I mean? Pires been running at you for 70. You're a bit tired. He keeps cutting inside. And then you see Mark Overmars coming on. You're done out here, bro. I'm telling you. Right, he's a legend. We got a legend on the bench, bro. Do you know how much I had to wrestle with my heart to leave Ian Wright out of the team? Obviously, Henry was playing. But Bergkamp and Ian Wright was a tricky one. I'm in Division 3 in Rivals, but I honestly don't play it that much. It's a sweat fest, man. You know? The criteria is changing all the time. That team would be unbelievable. Let's be honest. Anders Limpar, so underrated. I've seen a few clips of him. Very good player. Anelka over Righty, people are saying. I can't leave Righty out the squad. That's just, I'm a disgrace of an Arsenal fan if I leave him out the entire squad. Manager pick, it's got to be prime Arsene, and it's got to be prime Arsene Wenger. I think the interesting one, my final question for you people, who's your captain? For me, there are two options here. It's Tony Adams or Patrick Vieira. Who are you going for? That team would win. That team would win. I'm almost certain that team would win the Champions League. And we weren't far off having that team. Obviously, Sanchez was a lot older, but we're only 1 or 2 off. Who is the skipper for you guys? Is it Vieira or is it Tony Adams? Righty and Anelka should be in the starting team, bro. So where's Thierry going, bro? Are you playing him out wide? Adams, Vieira, Adams, Mr. Arsenal, Vieira. Tony Adams, I love Patrick, but Tony was the man. Vieira let us down at times. Wow, that's harsh, man. Adams, Vieira. Adams, Mr. Arsenal. Most of you are going for Adams as captain, so you go for, I think, go for Adams. Yeah, I think Vieira was just a leader in his own right, to be honest. I think Adams is Mr. Arsenal. He really knows what it means. So I think I would just go for Adams as the skipper. When you're saying who has the statue, though, I'm shocked that Ian Wright, Patrick Vieira have not got statues, to be honest. Like, genuinely shocked why they haven't got a statue. You know, they were unbelievable for Arsenal. Adams better captain, wouldn't get sent off like Vieira. Vieira, you need a leader. Adams had hundreds of games as captain. I'll drink to that. There you go, Thomas. So at least you agree with me on that. I'm going Adams. We have Vieira as vice captain, prime Wenger as manager. Could have been George Graham, but I think we got so much silk in this team that we need Wenger to manage it. The prime Wenger, not the one that was going mad at the end. I mean, imagine that team. David Seaman in goal. Back four of Lauren, Campbell, Adams, and Ashley Cole. Midfield, Perez, Sanchez, Fabregas, Vieira, and a front two of Bergkamp and Henry. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, that team. That team would win everything. That team would go invincible, I reckon. I don't think you'd beat that team. 04 Wenger, the prime Wenger, man. The one that was, proper about that life. This team got me dreaming. I mean, what's interesting, not one of our players would get anywhere near that team right now. Not one of them. I mean, who would get closest? Kieran Tierney, I would say. I think Tierney could be better than Winterburn, or certainly in time. He could definitely get on the bench, I think. Aubameyang really had a case for being on the bench ahead of Anelka. His goal record's fantastic. I just loved Anelka as a young Arsenal fan. And not really anyone else, Not really. Gabriel possibly could get on the bench as a centre-back. Aubameyang and Tierney in the future. Yeah. That team is 100 times better than Man City's now. It is. It would slap this Man City team all over the place. Ruben Dias and everyone drooling over him. Imagine what Henry and Bergkamp would do to him. And then you're bringing on Wrighty with Overmars and, all these great players, man. Nobody is close. These players today could not have played then. Kieran Tierney and Campbell. Swole Campbell as the owner. Anelka technically destroys Aubameyang. Listen, Anelka, man, I've always been a huge fan of Anelka at Arsenal. It's a shame that he left the club so early because I think he could have become a legend at Arsenal. But obviously went to Real Madrid. Ozil, I mean, I suppose there's a debate to be had, but yeah, Ozil for me, I was going to put him in the squad, and have the debate, but for me, Ozil doesn't even deserve to be around these players. You know what I mean? He doesn't even deserve to be debated with these guys. Yeah, prime Ozil, but how long did we have prime Ozil, man? Had to use the GB flag. England doesn't work. There you go. So what we got? Okay, 3 of the back 4 are English, the keeper, and then all the attacking players from abroad for the flair, man. But what a great team. No Ozil in the team. Did you put Petit and Gilberto on your bench? Who did I put? I put Petit on the bench. Just because I thought Petit could do a little bit more. He can do the defensive work, but attack as well. I mean, listen, let me know if you agree with the team, the bench, the captain, the manager, prime Wenger as manager, and Tony Adams as captain. I did feel bad leaving out Ian Wright. We had a lot of debate about Overmars or Lundberg being on the bench. Anyone who's watching this after, or even if you're watching it now, put your team in the comments after. And I'll have a look. We'll compare it and see what teams you would have picked. Because it's not as easy as it looks, It's not as easy as it looks. I've been pulling at the heartstrings today, man. I'll DM Wrighty that you kept him on the bench. Keep it quiet, man. Wrighty would probably, as someone said earlier, Wrighty would probably pick Bergkamp and Henry up front himself. I got to be honest. Big up my boy Ray Jihad's in here as well. Go and check out his channel, people. Liverpool channel, very good. And Highbury or the Emirates. Listen, mate, we're going home. We're going home. We're going home to Highbury, man. No more theatres. No more, let's go back to the Coliseum of Highbury. Tight pitch. Henry celebrating arm's length away from the fans. Let's go back home. But this team would be phenomenal. I think this team's unbelievable. Wrighty would pick Eddie and Nketiah in the all-time. Listen, next week, international break, we'll do our worst ever Premier League team. We'll do the best ever Premier League team of all teams, and I think that'll spark debate. So let me just zoom in so you can all see what we've gone with here. Obviously, there's the team. Just makes it a bit easier for you there. We've got David Seaman in goal, Ashley Cole and Lauren at fullback, Campbell and Adams at centre-back, Perez and Sanchez out wide, Fabregas and Vieira in the middle, with Henry and Dennis Bergkamp up front. And then on the bench, we got Lehman, Dixon, Petit, Overmars and Ian Wright. Winterburn, Gilberto, Cazorla, Lundberg, and Elka. They don't make the squad. You're playing for the reserves on Wednesday away at Boreham Wood. Oh, dear me. I know I've kind of got two left wingers on the midfield, but listen, someone's got to do a job on the right. Bobby, go and do a job on the right for me, mate. And you come off after 60 for Overmars. There was too much debate. We haven't really had too many great right wingers, really. If you think about it, it's been Lundberg, really. We've had great left wingers, not so many great right wingers. So I've had to cheat and get two left wingers in. Big up everyone for tuning in. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Big up everyone for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow, Olympiacos preview. And I'll also have a 2 p.m. show as well. They'll both be out tomorrow. And then the watch along on Wednesday. On Thursday, Arsenal against Olympiacos second leg. Let me know your teams in the comments after the video's finished. Big up everyone for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Bless.